On February 24, 1983, Don Decker returned to a friend's home in Pennsylvania, unaware he was about to become the center of a chilling mystery. As he settled in, water inexplicably began pouring from the walls and ceilings, defying all logic. This bizarre phenomenon marked the start of events that left investigators and paranormal experts puzzled. Haunted by a traumatic childhood, Decker found himself at the heart of a paranormal investigation. Witnesses reported strange occurrences: water flowing upward, objects moving on their own, and an eerie atmosphere surrounding him. What triggered these extraordinary events? And why has the search for answers remained elusive for decades? Join us as we explore the perplexing story of Don Decker, a tale of trauma, mystery, and the unexplainable. Chapter 1. A Troubled Childhood. Don Decker was born in 1960 into a life marked by hardship. His upbringing was marred by abuse at the hands of his grandfather, James Keeshaw. From the age of 7, Decker faced physical and emotional torment that left deep psychological scars. This abusive relationship created a complex dynamic. While many mourned Keeshaw's death in February 1983, Decker felt a sense of relief. He was granted a 3-day furlough from prison to attend his grandfather's funeral, an event that would set off a chain of bizarre occurrences. Keeshaw's death was not just a familial loss for Decker, it represented the end of an era filled with fear and violence. The funeral itself was a turning point, marking not only the end of his grandfather's life, but also the beginning of an unsettling chapter in Decker's own life. After attending the funeral, Decker stayed at the home of a family friend, Jeannie Kiefer. It was here that the first signs of his alleged supernatural abilities began to manifest. Chapter 2. The Funeral and Its Aftermath. As Decker settled into Kiefer's home after the funeral, he experienced an unsettling vision. While in the bathroom, he felt inexplicable coldness surrounding him and claimed to see a laughing face outside the window, a face adorned with a crown. This encounter seemed to trigger something within him. Confused and frightened by what he had seen, Decker returned to the living room where his friends were gathered. It was during this time that strange occurrences began to unfold. Initially, Kiefer and her friends noticed what they thought was water leaking from the walls. Upon closer inspection, they realized that water was running upward, a phenomenon that defied all logic. Witnesses reported seeing water flowing horizontally across the room as if it were being manipulated by an unseen force. Decker appeared unresponsive during this time, staring blankly upward as chaos unfolded around him. Chapter 3. Eyewitness Accounts. The incident drew attention from various witnesses, including police officers who arrived at Kiefer's home after receiving calls about the strange occurrences. Officers described their disbelief as they witnessed water-defying gravity. One officer recounted how he stood in amazement as droplets cascaded from walls and ceilings without any apparent source. The situation escalated further when Decker left Kiefer's house and went to a local restaurant, where similar phenomena occurred. The water began to rain indoors once again. The restaurant owner became convinced that Decker was possessed and called for an exorcism. During this attempted exorcism, when a crucifix was brought near him, Decker reportedly felt intense burning sensations across his body. This led many to believe that he was indeed under some form of supernatural influence. Witnesses described how the atmosphere in Kiefer's home shifted dramatically during these events. Friends reported feeling an eerie presence surrounding Decker, a sensation that something otherworldly was at play. Some claimed they could hear whispers or feel sudden drops in temperature when he entered a room. Chapter 4. The Police Investigation. As news spread about Decker's extraordinary claims, police investigators became involved in what initially appeared to be a plumbing issue, but quickly escalated into something far more mysterious. Detective Richard Wolbert, who worked on the case at the time, later recounted how baffled he was by the events he witnessed. He described how the water seemed to move independently throughout Kiefer's home and later in other locations where Decker went. Despite their skepticism, officers could not explain what they were witnessing. Eyewitnesses reported feeling an eerie presence during these incidents, further complicating their understanding of what was happening. The investigation revealed no plumbing issues or leaks that could account for the indoor rain phenomenon. Investigators conducted thorough searches of Kiefer's home, but found no logical explanations for what they had witnessed. Chapter 5. Life After Rain. Following these bizarre incidents, Don Decker returned to prison, where he continued to experience strange phenomena. Guards noticed changes in his demeanor. He seemed different after his experiences outside prison walls. Reports indicated that inmates around him felt uneasy due to his presence. Some even claimed they could sense something unusual about him. In one notable incident within the prison walls, a priest was called in for another exorcism attempt. As soon as he began reading from the Bible, witnesses claimed that everything in the room began to get wet, except for the holy book itself. Decker's life post-incidents remained tumultuous. He struggled with feelings of isolation stemming from both his past traumas and subsequent experiences with alleged paranormal phenomena. Chapter 6. The Media Frenzy. As media coverage intensified around Don Decker's story, it became evident that public fascination with paranormal phenomena often overshadows rational explanations rooted in psychology or science. Shows like Unsolved Mysteries capitalized on this intrigue by presenting cases like Decker's without providing definitive answers, leaving viewers with more questions than conclusions. The sensational nature of such stories can lead audiences down paths filled with speculation rather than understanding. The line between reality and fiction, blurring as narratives evolve through retelling. Decker became somewhat of a local celebrity due to his unusual experiences. Interviews with him revealed conflicting emotions regarding how he felt about being thrust into the spotlight amid such bizarre circumstances. Chapter 7. Psychological Implications. The psychological implications surrounding Don Decker's case are profound and complex, raising essential questions about belief systems surrounding paranormal phenomena. What happens when individuals encounter experiences beyond their understanding? How do societal perceptions influence narratives surrounding trauma and mental health? In examining Don Decker's life through this lens, a mix of true crime and supernatural intrigue, we find ourselves confronting uncomfortable truths about human nature itself. Decker's experiences serve as reminders that mental health challenges can persist long after traumatic events have occurred. Whether those events involve abuse or unexplained phenomena like indoor rainstorms, seemingly triggered by emotional distress. Chapter 8. Legacy and Continued Interest. Don Decker's legacy as the Rain Man of Pennsylvania endures as a captivating blend of alleged paranormal phenomena and subsequent legal troubles. His claims of summoning indoor rain in 1983 drew significant media attention and intrigued both true crime and paranormal communities. However, his later arrest in 2012 for arson at Dana's Restaurant and Tavern complicated perceptions of his credibility, leading some to view him as a troubled individual seeking attention. Decker's story continues to spark debate about the nature of reality, leaving a lasting impression on those fascinated by mysteries that challenge conventional understanding. As we conclude our exploration of Don Decker's extraordinary life and the bizarre events that surrounded him, we are reminded of the complex interplay between trauma, belief, and human experience. Whether viewed through the lens of skepticism or belief, his experiences raise profound questions about the nature of memory and the impact of childhood trauma. Thank you for watching our exploration of Don Decker's intriguing case. If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below.